After suffering through the director's previous work on The Nun, one of the dullest horror films in recent memory, my expectations for Whistle were incredibly low. Thankfully, it is difficult to be worse than that particular entry in the genre. But Whistle still struggles to rise above mediocrity. The story follows Cries, played by Daphne Keane, a high school student with a troubled past involving drug use and the death of her father. After moving in with her aunt, she discovers a mysterious whistle in a locker that was never cleared out. The plot kicks off when a character played by Nick Frost dies shortly after attempting to sell the object on an antiques version of Electronic Bay. Once Cries and her new friends blow the whistle, they found themselves stalked by a physical manifestation of death. The film introduces an intriguing concept, the idea that our death is born at the same moment we are. If you are destined to live until 90, your death spends 90 years traveling to find you. Blowing the whistle simply provides it with a shortcut. While neat in theory, the internal logic feels a bit flimsy. Daphne Keane performs well as the lead, even if she only narrowly convinces the audience she is a high school student. Her developing romance with her friend Ellie serves as one of the few emotionally grounded elements of the film. Unfortunately, the supporting adult cast is underutilized. Nick Frost is relegated to a brief moment of exposition and greed, while Michelle Fairley's character, Ivy, exists solely to explain the rules of the supernatural threat. She conveniently informs the protagonists that the only way to cheat death is through human sacrifice, a point the film feels the need to spell out repeatedly. The true antagonist eventually shifts from death itself to a loathsome peer named Noah, played by Percy Hines White. Because he is a drug dealer responsible for a previous overdose, he becomes the obvious candidate for sacrifice. The Scooby-Doo gang of protagonists naturally hesitates, leading to a forced confrontation that ensures a satisfactory ending. The film concludes with predictable sequence bait, showing the whistle returning to a locker, though a follow-up seems highly unlikely. Where the movie actually succeeds is in its practical effects. The deaths are surprisingly gory, particularly a sequence involving a character named Dean. In a refreshing change of pace for modern horror, the film appears to rely on physical effects rather than computer-generated imagery. Blood. The gore is intense enough that, 10 years ago, it likely would have received a much stricter age rating. Ultimately, Whistle met my low expectations. It is more coherent than other recent failures like Return to Silent Hill, but it remains a turn-your-brain-off Friday night movie. It isn't terrible, but it isn't particularly good either. Average is the most accurate description.